Sheri Melander-Smith, and you're watching Living Forward. The goal of Living Forward is to focus on issues that help others live the best life possible after the onset of a disability or chronic illness. Just recently, I had a kitchen fire. The day after Thanksgiving, I went Christmas shopping. By the time I got home, I was completely exhausted. What I did was I went to my car and I took out a large box and I set it on top of my stove. But the problem was when I put it on my stove and pushed it back, the stove got turned on. So I went back to my van to get the rest of my gifts, and when I came back into my home, I realized that the box was on fire, was completely up in flames. I had to use my kitchen fire extinguisher to put the fire out. It only took minutes for the entire home to be filled with this toxic, heavy smoke. Luckily, I had a fire extinguisher on hand. I think if I would have had to wait just a little bit longer and called the fire department, it would have taken a little longer than I would have liked, and so it's always best to be prepared. This experience has made me realize how absolutely important it is to prepare for emergencies, especially when you have a disability. This becomes even more important. So please, if you don't have a fire extinguisher, get a couple of them and have them on hand, and put one on each level of the floor so that you have one available. Here's one that I have. It's very easy to use. You'll notice it doesn't have the standard kind of pull and shoot and aim. It's just a regular press down. You lift the cap off and press the button down, and you can easily get a fire out that way. It costs about $4. There's several brands, and you can get them at any store. So I really suggest that you have these available in your home. With winter upon us, we all need to prepare for potential weather-related emergencies. This last November 24th, 2010, FEMA issued a news release encouraging people with special needs to prepare for winter. When preparing for winter, you want to consider the following points. Plan to have electrical backup for all your medical equipment. In case of downed phone lines, have a charged cell phone with you and on you at all times. Make sure you have at least a 2-week supply of all your medications necessary. And also, when planning your emergency plan, include your animals in the plan as well. Think ahead about community shelters that can accommodate the needs of senior citizens or persons with disabilities. You want to call ahead of time and make sure that they will be able to handle a person like yourself who has a disability. You want to make sure to have a battery-operated radio at home. And also, prepare a first aid kit when you have some extra time, and keep that in a location that's easily accessible to you. Personally, I think it's a wise idea to have cash available as well. If something were to happen and all of the internet lines will be down, cash is going to become key. Learn how to turn off the water valves. This is in case the pipes burst, and it can really prevent a lot of damage from occurring in your home. And as I already explained, have a fire extinguisher available in your home. And if you have a car, always have at least a half a tank full of gas in it. Make sure you know where your keys are, and make sure your car's tires have adequate tread on them. Also, if you have a vehicle, keep emergency supplies in your vehicle. And if it's stormy out or it's a little uncertain, make sure you tell someone where you're traveling to and what route you're taking so that they can track you and know when you're due to arrive. In addition to the above, consider including the following in an emergency kit. Now, in regard to water, you want to consider 1 gallon per person per day with a minimum of 3 days supply. And for food, have at least a 3-day supply of non-perishable food. So this would be food in cans, and make sure you have the can opener available as well. You might want to consider having some dust masks available. In a home fire, I can tell you that these things are very, very necessary, because after spraying the fire extinguisher, you're going to have a fine level of dust that settles everywhere, and it takes hours for that to go away. You might also want to consider having some moist towelettes and some pet food for your service animal or any other cats, dogs, any other pet you may have. In addition to preparing at home, if you work, You will need to prepare for emergencies at work as well. The National Organization on Disability has information pre-printed to inform managers on how to prepare employees with special needs and can easily be accessed at www.nod.org/emergency. If you are an employed person with a disability, print this brochure and make sure to give it to your manager. And after that, make sure you have a safety plan available at work. Trust me that practice and planning do make a difference. One example is during the 1993 World Trade bombing, there was a man with a disability working on the 69th floor. With no plan in place, it took over 6 hours for our staff to evacuate him from the building. Now, in 2001, as we all know, there was a severe attack on the World Trade Center again. That same man had prepared himself, this time with the assistance of his fellow colleagues and an evacuation chair he had acquired. It took him less than 90 minutes to leave the same building the second time. So the key is to prepare for all emergencies. If you need more information, you can visit the Minnesota State Council on Disability's website at www.disability.state.mn.us. There you will find all the information you need to prepare yourself for winter. I hope that all of you stay warm and safe this winter. So that's our show for today. I want to thank all of our guests and all of our organizations that were included in today's programming. Thank you so much for watching, and I look forward to seeing you again in 2011. Have a safe and happy New Year. Bye-bye for now.
We idolize our heroes and worship paintings on